ever feel that much that would make me faint.
We met some goats in Hawaii. We like saw like this like off the side of the highway. It was like this farm, I want to say, and there were just a bunch of goats, and you could just go and like pet the goats and like feed
Oh,
them.
nice.
So we fed the goats, and one of them
That's
pooped
cool.
on my friend.
Oh, that's not so cool. Goats have a very particular smell, and it's so hard to ever relieve yourself of. Like, you take like 3 showers and you still smell like goat if you ever like
Yeah.
worked on a
Luckily, it didn't happen to me.
farm.
Here they were, chat. You can see the goats.
Oh,
That's one of my
that's
friends.
cool.
That's not the one that got pooped on, though.
Alrighty. Okay, guys. I think I'm set on my
Dojo's chat
end.
kicking off.
Okay.
How are you guys? Are you guys ready to get going?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Wait, just sorry. Is Matt ready?
Okay.
I feel like
I'm ready. I'm ready.
okay.
Yeah.
I just I sense so much hesitation and urgency.
No. I'm there. I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. So, hello, folks. Welcome to the stream. Today, we are going to be working on some calculation, getting ready for the tournament coming up that we're all playing this month in Portugal, Maya Open. So, okay, we were just talking a bit off stream with Houseline, Bloodqueen. We did a session with Bloodqueen last week and Rachel working on calculation, and since then, well, actually, everyone here has been working on their chess. Okay, folks. So since then, we've been improving. I wanted to check in with you guys. How's the tactics and calculation felt in the last week? Let's start with Blood Queen.
I've been working on it a lot because, yeah, I feel like that's definitely one of my weaker areas. So, like, made that a major part of my training plan. Possibly, like, worked on it a little bit too much at one point because, it's like when you look at a word for too long and the word stops looking like the word. It's like when you look at a chessboard for too long, you stop seeing how the pieces move. Also, when you like deprive yourself of sleep for like multiple days in a row, you stop seeing how the pieces move. So, I've been trying to balance training my tactics and also like sleeping and exercising so that I'm like in good form, as they say. So I think I'm feeling ready for whatever you have to throw at us.
Nice. And did you mention what have you been working on? You said chess tactics from scratch, or anything else?
No, I've been doing chess tempo puzzles. Yeah, chess tempo, and David sent me some puzzles like on a sheet to do and like write down all the lines. Basically, I also done some woodpecker method, and like some chess com puzzles, just like a little bit of everything. But like consistently, I've been doing like 30 minutes of chess tempo, at least, sometimes more per day. And he gave me like yeah, he made me like write out the lines, basically similar to how it would be in the tactics test, but just like down on a piece of paper. And I've been trying to do that for every time I do like a session with chess tempo, instead of just like clicking through the moves, like actually write down all the lines until the very end, with like a tournament effort, just so I like practice what it's like to put it in tournament effort
Great.
to calculating something.
And how's that been? Has that been helpful?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a
Yes. Actually,
great.
I think it's been very helpful.
Yeah, I feel like it's a great practice. So like yeah, just help
Yeah.
like structure your thinking and like get your calculation thoughts down, all that stuff. So that's awesome. Um, okay, how about
Yeah.
you, Matt? I know you've been doing chess tactics from scratch. That's why I thought maybe
Yep.
Blake was also doing it.
Yep. Uh, that's been my jam. I've been doing bits of that this week. I haven't done so much work so far. I've probably done like 4 hours or so this week. So a bit more relaxed. Up until that point, it's been a mix of chess tactics from. Well, I finished Polgar Mates for my cohort, Mate and Twos. So then back to chess tactics from scratch, and yeah, it's been going okay. I think the last chapter I was like getting a little bit sort of stuck on things. I felt like I was backpedaling a bit, but I'm coming back to some of the problems now. New section, so it like starts with easier material as well. And I sort of reread the chapter before doing this section of tactics as well, because I was just like, I think I was just getting stuck in some bad habits of calculation, maybe, and not looking at like candidates like I was in our previous sessions.
Gotcha.
So I think I need to shake out of
that. Okay, yeah, very common. Well, let's see. Is there anything that you guys in particular feel like you need to work on when it comes to tactics and calculation?
Being thorough with my opponent's candidate moves. I find it really difficult to even start coming up with candidate moves for my opponent for some reason. I don't know why it's different than finding candidate moves for myself, or like defensive resources. Like I've been missing a lot of those. And I notice it a lot more now that I write down the lines, because, if there's one that I didn't write down, then I actually missed it. I know I looked for it and I still missed it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the thing of spinning my wheels again and going like deep into certain lines, and I just don't need to. And that's probably like similar to Anushka in terms of look at some candidates and like my opponent's responses, so I don't necessarily, so I can refute some of my lines that I might just go heavy in on.
Right.
I have a question. Kostya, is the audio delayed for like from the video on the stream together?
Wait, let me see. You guys say something?
Hello.
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 Testing.
Hands up, hands down, hands up, hands down.
Maybe slightly. It's hard to tell. Should we could
I
reset it?
It's within like a normal.
Yeah, I think we should restart it. I just, because I'm noticing that like it's like taking a while for, it seems like it's taking a while for the audio to go through.
Yeah, let's reset it. That should be no problem.
Okay.
All right, folks. 1 sec.
Are we just leaving this one entirely?
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were just rejoining the same call or just running a new one. Yeah.
No, I also don't know. Is that the best way?
We'll try it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems in sync.
Yeah.
Me and Kostya are just chatting now, so.
Yeah.
Good? All right.
Yeah.
Wait, but your
like
video's
off.
off.
Just setting up some stuff while we were answering. Yeah.
Okay. Should I try this on? Okay, all good. Okay, we can continue. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's just your video's off, so we didn't see you. We
Oh,
didn't see
mine.
You clap. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was my bad.
Okay, that looked good. I think that was
perfect.
That was
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, great.
I made that a solid 9 out of 10.
Alrighty, let's do some puzzles. We'll definitely work on finding the opponent's resources, which I think is a really important part of calculation. Okay, so yeah, let's just start with this one, and be cool to just hear your thoughts as you kind of see the position and calculate. So I'll just copy it in here real quick. But yeah, so Matt, you're saying your issue is about kind of like spinning down one line and not really looking for candidates.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think I've sort of, like, because we did a couple of sessions which I thought were really helpful, and I think I'm just sort of digressed.
Gotcha.
So like what? Just bad habits.
Cool. Hopefully
regressed even.
Yeah, hopefully we'll break you out of that. Okay, my computer here is just taking its time to load. It's working through something right now.
All
It's
that
okay.
Maya open prep. Crunching some numbers.
Stockfish level 5,000.
Novelties in every game.
We don't have access to that.
Yeah.
Here, while you're doing that, I'm gonna refill my water bottle really quickly.
Yes,
but
please.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
In the meantime, hello chat. Hopefully you guys are ready to work on your calculation as well. Or you guys can just watch the journey.
You can laugh at mine.
Now, have you done any chess today, Matt?
I did some chess, reassess your chess today because we're going to do calculations. So I was going to do some chess tactics from scratch,
Okay.
but then I thought I'll work on some strategy.
Great.
Mix it up.
Nice. Okay, here we go. Hey, we got Oscar Chess in the chat, Ahad Chess.
Hey, Oscar.
Hello, Oscar and Ahad.
Let's go.
Chess.
Repping the house
Yeah.
chat. Love it, Oscar. There we go. See. Small but mighty.
And let me just ask you guys this. On a scale of 1
nice.
to 10, or do you think your visualization is good for your level or not so good or about par?
Not good.
Huh. I wouldn't call it visualization because maybe I'm a little bit like David in terms
You know,
of
I was just about to say the same thing, but I actually don't. I don't think I am fully. I think I can visualize a little bit, but it's like doing math for me.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
like your chess visualization.
When I go through,
Yeah.
I think it's actually all right. Like I've been doing some of that. So when I'm at work at the moment, I actually have a podcast. I listen to Don't Move Until You See It and the Blindfold Chess podcast. So I've been sort of like inadvertently training that by just like trying to passively play through games and do those puzzles. I think I'm all right. I think I'm like, good for my level, I would say. I can play Blindfold Chess okay, but then again, I don't really have a point of reference.
Okay, cool. But definitely something we might end up talking about, just because I think visualization, it can be like a limiting factor for players, because if you're not able to see the position really clearly, then of course you're going to hallucinate with the calculation. It's really important.
Even like one move ahead is like, it takes a lot of effort from me to visualize. Like one move from me, one move from them. And then, I have a lot of trouble with that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, but you say that, but then, I mean, I know you've played full blindfold games. So like...
But trying really, really hard. And if you like, I don't know, Rachel posted the video on her channel and she had to cut out like 90% of that because it was like mostly just me like sitting there, like replaying the entire game in my head like multiple times. So...
Gotcha.
Okay. I do kind of do the same. Like I replay lines to get there. I'm bad at.
I just like forget. I'm like I just forgot like what just happened. I have to like remember.
I mean that is natural. I mean you guys are. I was a little bit higher rated I think than you guys are when I started playing blindfold chess. So, the fact I was surprised actually that you guys could even do a full game. Like I think that's already actually pretty good.
Yeah. It was King's Indian. We know that pretty well.
Still okay. And then last week I felt like because we were analyzing a bit with Rachel and Bloodqueen, and I thought you were able to kind of hold the lines in your head reasonably well. But we will probably keep working on it. I finally have our first position ready here. It's white to play.
Awesome.
Let's start with Blood Queen because I might have shown this position to Matt before, and I just want to hear your thought process here as you try to find best continuation for White.
Okay. Material count is equal. I guess our pieces are more active. Seems like we're going to be attacking the king at some point. We can take on e6 right now. So if I was looking at candidate moves, basically be take on e6. Like, yeah, I don't. Maybe bishop a7 is a candidate move. Bishop b6 technically could be a candidate move. Queen h5, maybe, or queen h4, or queen h3. Like those are all, I don't know, don't really seem like they're turning into anything. So I would probably look at rook takes e6 first. I don't know how much you want me to talk about.
Sorry, you don't have to fill the whole silence. You can just like calculate and just let me know like what move you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Rook takes e6, f takes e6, queen takes e6 check. King can go to g7, h8, or f8. And I'm not really. I don't think there's any way we can win the bishop. Even if the king goes to like g7, there's no real follow-up check. So our queen's on e6. We can take a pawn. We got 2 pawns for the exchange. And and then we can probably follow up with bishop d4. So rook takes e6, f takes e6, queen takes e6 check, king, let's say f8, trying to run. Queen takes e5. And my threat is bishop d4, so what would he do about it? There's no f pawn. Bishop f6 loses a piece. And like king e8. See, like I don't know if king f8, king e8 is like the right plan for them even, but it's like I don't have like a template to like test my plan again, so I'm just like pulling random moves. But like let's say they go king e8, and then queen h8 check. King d7 is possible, bishop f8 is possible. It doesn't king d7, oh, they're in the pin. No, they're not in the pin. My bishop is open because I took on e6. Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning. Rook takes e6, f takes e6, queen takes e6 check. King f8 and king e8 is an illegal move. So queen takes e5. They still have a bishop. Let's say queen takes e5, bishop takes... no, that doesn't even work. Is there anything they can do to stop mate? Because if they go to g7 or h8, then queen takes e5 comes with check. So queen takes e5 check. They can't even go to h6. King g8, bishop d4, bishop f6, and then probably g takes f6. And I just win 2 pieces for the rook. Okay, that's my calculation. I'll stop there.
Okay. So you like rook e6?
Yes, I like rook e6.
Cool. Okay, Matt, anything to add, or were you thinking something different?
No. I did a thing instantly there as well, which I have done and even did in one of my recent-ish games for the match. Is I hallucinated a piece on like a square that is not there anymore. But rook e6, yeah, just feels crushing. You're opening up the king. Or not feels, but like all of that calculation, there's nothing I disagree with. Queen e5, threatening bishop d4, bishop f6, doesn't do anything, and like you've opened up the bishop, you've opened up everything, like you've activated a lot of pieces.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I would say you guys are both right, and you kind of stopped at the right moment too. So like after queen takes e5, that's a good place to stop because there's not a lot of forcing moves black can play there. And then that's just a better point to more like evaluate the sacrifice. So we gave up the exchange, we got 2 pawns, king is open, we have 2 bishops, we have bishop d4 coming. So you guys both like that for white, and I think you're definitely right on that. Like that's the correct evaluation. And good. And yeah, and this is one where it's like I don't think you really have to try to go super deep calculating to checkmate. It's more about understanding that once you get queen takes e5, like white has all the play. So well done.
Okay.
All right, now rook takes e6. Are there any moves black can play other than pawn takes rook? That makes sense, obviously.
I was wondering, yeah. Thing is, they don't have any like intermezzo
C8.
checks. I was wondering because our bishop is on a4 is undefended. That's the only piece that's not defended. But I don't think that matters so much because, like rook e6, rook a8. Can we just play rook takes e7? Yeah.
So, see, that's the thing. I don't look at any candidate moves other than f takes e6, and then well, I don't know if queen queen c8 is
That's
good.
okay. That's why this is a good puzzle. But as soon as I said like okay, now let's look for moves for black.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, black queen finds queen c8, which is like definitely interesting. So this is just a matter of technique. Like if you do enough of these kinds of calculations and puzzles, you'll start to ask yourself these kinds of questions by default. A great rule of thumb to try to get into. This is an Agard point. This is great. Agard taught me a lot of stuff. Now I get to teach you guys things.
Okay.
Whenever you feel like, whenever you actually see that you have an only move, like f takes c6, like a recapture, unless it's actually your only legal move, you should always take a second to just think like, is there any other options? Especially when you feel like you have an automatic move like a recapture, you should just always take like a moment to analyze the board and say, okay, do I have any interesting candidate moves? If not, then make your recapture. You only spent like a few seconds, but if there is something to analyze, then you would notice and then maybe you can go deeper. And so this is kind of the same technique for like looking for the opponent's moves. It's like, okay, rook takes e6. 9 times out of 10, black has to just recapture, but sometimes they might have a move, so we definitely want to get into the habit just checking like what else they can do. And then yeah, queen c8 is annoying because rook takes e6, queen c8, and then black wants to take back on e6 with the queen, and then trade queens, and then we don't win 2 pawns, we don't get the attack. We might just be down the exchange.
But we have a resource. I've literally just reread the chapter of this kind of theme in Chess Tactics from scratch. So I've just
rook takes g6.
Nice. So
does it work?
Yeah. Let's give black queen a chance. So rook e6, queen
the queen's
c8,
defended on c8,
and now white to play. So try to make it work.
Unless, I mean, if we don't play rook takes g6, I feel like everything else is bad. I don't think there's a bishop move that's safe. Like, I don't think bishop d7 does anything. So rook takes g6, h takes g6, and can play bishop d7 there. It's like legal. I don't know that it does very much. I mean, I don't know that it saves us. So maybe rook g6 is not the move. I don't know if Matt wants to say something. Is that?
So rook g6 in that instance. So rook takes, queen c8, rook g6. We're giving up a rook. We're giving up the exchange, and then bishop d7, and the queen can run. So, yeah.
I don't know but you said it was like from a chapter. Like, what was the thing from the chapter?
It's I've just literally just seen this theme, so like, yeah, it's
Are you not going to say it?
Like, I don't know.
Am I supposed to find it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we want to give you a chance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So rook e6, queen c8, and now this is basically like another white to play. So it's like look for your candidate moves and see if any options you can make work.
Okay, candidate moves. Rook takes e7, rook takes g6 check. Moving the rook somewhere with a threat. Rook b6. And if takes, then I go here, but that doesn't do anything. What? Bing, bing. What? What's going on?
What's happening in the position after rook g6? After rook e6.
After rook e6 and queen
and
c8.
queen c8.
After rook e6 and queen c8, what's happening in the position? Their back rank is safe.
Yeah.
The bishop is hanging, but our queen is hanging if we take the bishop. The pawn is hanging to the rook, but they still take her queen. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
I mean, those are all. Yeah, I mean that those are all the things. I think I would never find this unless I literally just read something similar.
After rook e6, queen c8, what's happening?
What's the problem with rook g6 after queen c8? Or why doesn't it
Because they can take it with either pawn, and their queen is defended, and our queen is not defended. But I don't think there's a way to force the rook away. Is there? Is there? No. Bing, bing. Oh my, wait. No. I was like, oh, rook e8 check, but that doesn't actually work because the bishop's there. So, also that doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess it does do something, but it's like, it doesn't. Huh. The bishop again. We're not threatening any back rank things. Okay, this is, I have no idea what this could possibly be.
Yeah, you just have to just keep looking for candidate moves. You even mentioned the move previously and forgot about it, I think. But you just have to keep keep looking for more candidates, basically, after queen c8.
Okay.
Checks
Rook b6, but that doesn't do anything because they just take my queen, and then I take their rook, and then they block, and then I have nothing. And then oh wait, and then bishop c5. But surely they can surely.
Wait, hold on. Let's slow down. So you're calculating this line, but you went really fast. So rook takes e6, queen c8, rook b6, queen takes g4, rook takes b6 check, and then now I think you're calculating like bishop f8, bishop c5, and then trying to work that out, right? But on rook b8 check, we have to recognize that black has two options there.
It's true. King g7.
Right, and which one feels much safer?
King g7.
King g7, yeah. So you can definitely see that, but a really important technique there is actually to slow down when you're thinking, so that you can hold the position long enough in your head to see that there's two options there, and then your brain will be like, oh, king g7, and then I don't have anything. So you can discard the line, but at least you're looking at more ideas. Yeah, so rook g6 is out. I think any rook move is basically out because the queen is hanging, so you have to kind of look for another forcing idea here.
I said the move? Oh, bishop d7 because if the queen takes, then the queen is hanging.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, very good. So that was interesting how you discarded it, and then and then it's even harder to find it because it's like you've already cleared it in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so very nice. So right, basically this is like a 3-step problem. Step 1 is to just see this idea and that it looks good, which I'll show folks. This is kind of the key stopping position from the first line, just to understand that this position is extremely good for white, and you don't really have to calculate further. You just have to evaluate that we have a tremendous attack for the exchange. Step 2 is reminding yourself that, okay, maybe black has some other moves, and in general, you should try to look for all the forcing moves for the opponent. So like h5, for example, like, okay, it doesn't really help, but it's a move that we should at least kind of know is there. Because, of course, when we miss the opponent's idea, then this is when bad things happen. And then after queen c8, it's important not to kind of give up on the line, but try to make it work anyway. And usually we call this overcoming resistance, when it's like you have this great idea, it's like almost working, but you can't quite make it work. And then, of course, we do have to find this move, otherwise the whole line wouldn't, the idea wouldn't work for white. White would just be losing. So yeah, this is a tough one to find, but this is why it's like really important to hone your candidate's search, so that if there is a move in the position, if there is some resource for either side, we're able to kind of pluck it out. Because this isn't super deep, right? This is like a 2-move calculation, but it's still very hard because you're having to find some difficult moves. But
deflection.
But good job. The more, the harder it is in practice, the easier it'll be in the tournament. So,
yeah, the interesting thing is also because you had the idea of deflecting the rook and switching that to can I deflect the queen as well? Like, then it might.
If you give me this position like before bishop d7 as a puzzle, then I definitely see it.
Well, we kind of did. I mean, it's just a matter of visualizing from here.
Yeah.
But it basically there. Okay, let me add another one here. Okay, white to play. And Matt, why don't you do this one?
Okay. All right. So 2 rooks for the queen, nice in balance. Black has a lot of pressure, obviously down or control over the f and g files. There's a hanging pawn on e5, which would also pin the rook, which is kind of interesting to look at instantly as well. So like first candidate move. Oh, I was looking at queen takes g7. This is like instant, like checks, captures, attacks kind of thing, but I can discard that pretty quickly because the queen for rook is not handy for us, and there's no real clear follow-up. Queen takes e5. I thought it's interesting because we pin the rook, which then we're looking for things like knight f5 directly after, and then we can win the exchange, and then we're definitely doing really well. We've got a pass pawn also, but after queen e5, what is black's response? You can go rook f1 check, king h2, no big deal, and then is there anything to open up our king? I don't really see it. So queen e5, rook f1, king h2. Rook has to either come back or like rook f2, knight f5 is going to be problems for us. Maybe there's... Oh no, there isn't rook f4 anyway after queen e5. Queen e5. I don't see anything to like attack or deflect our queen. Like queen e5 is feeling really great. What is the counterplay is what I'm trying to figure out now. So queen, if you want to get out of the pin, then you've got to king g8. So queen e5, king g8, knight f5, rook f7. And then we can come in with like queen g3 again, check, which looks kind of brutal. I don't have like a clear line, but queen e5 is definitely feeling like the way to restrict my opponent's pieces. And I don't see... Maybe there's like rook f6 as a weird move, but queen e5, rook f6, knight f5. Then the other rook is free to move, so maybe that is an idea. Maybe, but then I have like knight e8, and both rooks are attacked, and you don't have a clear attack on my queen either. Yeah. Queen e5, c3 takes, or queen takes e5, b4. So that's the only counterplay that I can really see for black, is maybe trying to promote a pawn. So I've got to be careful of like maybe, well, queen e5, I was thinking like rook f2 then to maybe try and pick up the pawn, but then I can go queen e8, check, but the rook comes back, or the knight comes back. But I'd probably still go knight f5, so queen e5, rook f2, knight f5 is threatening mate, so yeah, that can't really be too good. But then there's rook takes g2, knight takes g7, that's kind of fine as well. So queen e5, b4, knight f5, rook takes f5, maybe it's like a last ditch attempt. I'd probably just play pawn takes, and then I've got two passes that I can try to start launching, and I'm still protecting on the kind of like c3 square. Yeah, I really don't see much for black, which I'm going to hate myself for saying in a second. But queen takes e5, knight f6 I haven't considered. Queen takes e5, knight f6. I can still go knight f5. I'm threatening to pick up another pawn. Rook e8 is a potential after knight f6, maybe. But I know it isn't because it hangs the knight. But I've got to be worried of like queen e5, knight f6. And then is knight g5 a problem for me? Queen e5, knight f6. Knight f5, knight g5 is not a problem because I will mate. Knight f6, knight f5, rook f7. Knight takes h6. Looks pretty annoying. And the knight is pinned after that anyway. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any like last inch of like queen takes rook or anything like that, but queen takes knight check, and I can pick everything up, but not really. Queen e5, rook f1, king h2, or queen e5, rook f2, queen e5, rook f1, king h2, rook f2, because you've got the tempi, so knight f5 now, you've got rook takes g2 check. Queen e5, rook f1, king h2, rook f2. Knight f5. Can I get away with giving the queen up for two rooks? Because if I go knight f5, rook f takes g2 check. No, because the other king g or king h3. rook check, queen takes, rook check, king takes, knight f6, and then d6, knight e7, knight d7. So knight f6. Again, this is probably like way too much, but rook f1, king h2, rook f2. Is there any way I can deal with that? Oh, maybe I go king h3. I just go king h3, and then rook takes g2, knight f5, and then I'm protecting on g3 as well. And then there's problems. Okay. I mean, that's about the extent of my calculation. I think the counterplay for black is maybe rook f1, rook h2, king, and then I've got to go king h3. Or I go knight f5, rook takes g2. Oh, and then I just go king h3 anyway. So maybe I don't need to go king h3 first. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with that and regret my decisions that
Cool, makes sense. Bloodqueen, do you
Cool.
have anything
that's it.
Anything to add?
No.
You also like queen takes e5?
Yeah, I like queen takes e5. Matt definitely lost me there in some of the lines. I have no idea what's happening with rook takes g2.
I lost myself.
Yeah, queen takes e5. I felt like knight f6 was a good defensive move that I would have a lot of trouble seeing, but Matt kind of just like listed out all the defensive moves and like just went through them methodically. So I thought that was really good. And yeah, queen e5, knight f6, knight f5, knight h5. We seem to be doing well there. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So cool. So basically I think Matt, you did a really thorough job after queen takes e5 finding all of the candidates for black there. But then after, this is where it gets tough. It's like after rook f1 check king h2, because rook f1 is such a forcing move, it's like if they play rook f1, we have to play king h2. So if black wants, they can have this position as well, right? Yeah. So there we have to be like just as thorough. So that's the position where I want you to like look, because you looked at rook f2, which is very important. That's definitely a move. But I want you to look for other moves, because in the first position you were looking at b4, c3, all kinds of ideas, right? But then after rook f1 check king h2, it's like just rook f2, even though black has just as many moves there as well. And I'm not saying you have to go out super, super deep, but at least for rook f1 check king h2, we got to check that position really carefully. And this is for both of you. So try to find something for black there. So takes on e5, rook f1, king h2, and then black to play and cause some problems.
Knight f6 maybe. Sorry, do you want me to voice it or just keep
that's
it
fine.
internal?
Yeah. So knight f6, and what's the idea?
So I didn't. Yeah, knight f6 was annoying in the other moves, but then knight f6, looking for the fork on g5, forking the queen and the king on h2. So rook f1, king h2, knight f6, and then if I go king h3, then you've got rook h1 mate. Well, rook h1, I have to give up the queen, which is painful. So knight f6. Do I just go something like get out of... No, because the rook h1 threat's still very annoying. Do I have some like knight check? Because I'm actually struggling now to see after knight f6 what I
After
can.
the rook's on f2, after knight f6, can you go knight e8 maybe? Because the rook can't take.
So when the rook's on f1, rook f1, king h2,
And then
knight f6.
you said, is that the line we were doing?
Mm-hmm.
Queen takes e5, rook f1.
Just from the rook doesn't have to go
rook
to f2.
f1, king h2, knight f6. That's what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my question was, what about knight? Does knight e8 do anything, or?
Maybe I need to.
Because the knight
No.
can't take. I mean, if the
I
knight
thought-
takes, then you just take, and then you're checking.
But after knight f6, black has
But knight g5 check forks the queen and the
has
king.
a threat.
Black has a threat.
So queen e5, rook f1, king h2, and then knight f6. The queen and the king are very forkable from g4.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's a cold shower. And I'm really struggling how to get out because king h3 is just mate with rook h1. Sorry, I've got queen h2. Silly me. And then rook takes queen. So maybe queen takes e5. Like, I'm really struggling to find other resources. Because I don't have any checks. And I can't give up a piece or trade a piece because I think I'm just losing with any of the trades. So, what checks do I have? I don't have queen e8 check because knight takes. I don't have knight f7 check. Rook takes. Maybe I do. So knight f7, rook takes f7, queen b8. But no, I'm just giving up loads of material. King g7. And then there's two rooks and a knight. But I am pinning the knight, which might be helpful. So maybe knight f7, rook f7, d6. Like, just ignore everything and just try and promote a pawn. That said, I don't necessarily like d6, king g7. D7 just loses, just takes. So yeah, bit much maybe. Okay then.
Yeah. So okay, let's
Maybe
put it on the board.
I
So
have to use a different.
Haven't
move
we
than
won
queen
an
takes
exchange in
e5.
that line?
Wait, which line?
Queen takes e5.
Queen takes e5, rook f1 check, king h2, knight f6, knight f7, rook takes f7, d6. I don't know what you said. Oh, but then you're saying the knight g4
D6
check.
and then
Is that still the problem?
oh
yeah.
the knight's pinned
Well, yeah.
currently.
So d6.
So I was delaying the inevitable, but d6 but then like okay, you can move the king out of the way of the knight and then threat renewed. But then I check and then I will try and push, but the problem is d7 is completely guarded by both the knight and the rook on f7.
Okay. Sorry, someone said the audio's imbalanced, so I'm trying to fix it.
No worries. So maybe it's just not queen takes e5 because like I cannot see well after knight f6 I'm really struggling to I can't guard g4. It feels like I can't guard g4. Like,
Yeah. So let's put it on the board. So this one,
like can't wriggle out.
And then yeah, this is a big problem for white. It's like knight g4 check is coming.
I don't think I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And white's king is just in just mating that.
Yeah. Wow.
So, going back to this
Queen takes
position.
e5.
Yeah, but what other options does white have?
All right, Queen e3. Queen e3, attacking the h6 pawn. Queen c3.
I was looking at Queen a3 and Queen
We're
h3
gonna run into the same
because
thing.
Queen a3, but like
Queen
you're not really
A3.
attacking anything because
Nice.
then Rook f1 check.
That's fine. We don't mind so much. Is knight f6 the problem? Probably. Not so much, but no, it gets a bit tricky, doesn't it? Oh yeah, knight g4 check will still be a problem with queen e3. It's the same. Okay, so queen a3, rook f1, king h2, knight f6. Do we care about knight g4? It feels like we probably should, but no, because we've got access to I'm not 100% sure, but we've got access to f8 once knight f6 comes. Oh no, but knight g4 opens it up back up.
I'm trying to make knight takes b5 work, but I don't think it does.
Queen e3. Well, the thing is with queen e3, rook f1, knight f6, we actually have queen takes h6 check, which still might be a bit scary for us. But like, if we go queen e3, rook f1, king h2, knight f6, queen takes h6 check, king g8, or rook h7 looks a little bit scary for us,
don't we? Oh no, there's knight g8, but we have winning the rook.
Rook h7. Oh, it's the king. Well, we have knight f7 check. Oh no, but king g8, and then
wait, what?
Queen g6 check.
Queen e3.
So queen e3, rook f1, king h2,
knight f6. Okay, queen takes h6. What'd you say? Rook h7. Queen f8 check, knight g8, and then queen takes f1.
Oh, queen f8. Yeah, sure. We also had like knight f7 check because the rook's pinned, but then king g8, queen g6, rook g7, knight h6.
But then they don't have to block with the rook. Check, they can go f8. Knight back to h7.
Yeah.
And the third move there, black can play?
After queen takes h6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
King g8. King g8.
And then
is there a move in this position, or is this just like torture?
Knight g4 is such an annoying noise. Knight g4 is such an annoying problem.
Yeah, so clearly, right. Wow. So the issue is rook f1 check and knight f6. And then even if you take the pawn on h6, black goes king g8, and we're still in trouble with our king. So, okay, our queen is under attack right now. So yeah, we just need a queen move that deals with black's idea here.
Oh, if we go queen c3, wait, is there ever like we can take on e5 with check? Did you look at that already?
Well, I was thinking like queen c3, rook f1, king h2, knight f6. We still can't take on e5 because that is the problem. But maybe we go knight f5 then. Knight h4 would knight g4 is still kind of annoying. Oh no, it isn't because we're threatening on g7.
Can we defend the f1 square?
Knight g4, king.
Probably not.
g2. Yeah, I mean we can go queen e1. Like that would be the safe move. But I mean, does queen h3 do anything?
If we could somehow take both the rooks and give the queen, then this would be a pretty good position for. Actually, I don't even know if it would be. No, yeah, this would be a pretty good position for us. But unfortunately, it's not the case.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't mind queen c3. If we get rook f5 and we can, like, as long as knight g4 doesn't kill us with a fork, then, like, if we've got knight f5 in, the king can step across into the g file and take the rook when, like, a discovery check happens, provided we don't get double checked, which isn't possible. So yeah, maybe like queen c3, rook f1, king h2, knight f6, knight f5. We still can't, but then this rook has to move somewhere.
And my brain has stopped working. It's on strike.
Like I mean, after all of that, this is the moment in a game where I'd be like, well, just queen e1. Like where I sort of, like, the calculation kind of stopped, and I'm like, things get kind of hazy. But okay, so queen e3 has a threat.
This is a really really good instinct. So queen e1 is right. Queen e1, you have to play. I mean, so I think
that was mean.
No, I feel like you guys are looking for a clear solution, but there is. The clear solution is that if you don't play queen e1, you're dealing with rook f1 check and knight f6, which so far we haven't been able to solve, right?
It makes sense.
So you either flag or you play queen e1, and then next knight comes to f5, right? So we take control of the king side with the knight. So the idea is not just like we win with our queen on the back rank. The idea is, like, concretely, we need this move to not allow rook f1. We need one tempo for knight f5, and then the queen will come back out, and then we can... Because objectively, white has a very nice endgame here. It's queen for 2 rooks, but black's king has less protection in front of it, so, like, the king is kind of weak, and we have a lot of targets for our queen. Like, we could say e5 pawn, h6 pawn, a6 pawn. These are all kind of like weaknesses. So if we can just, like, limit the counterplay, then the queen and knight can dominate. No, this actually comes from my game, and
the knight closes the file.
Exactly, the knight comes to f5, and then that shuts down the counterplay, and then the queen can come back out. No, this was my game, and I also went wrong. I took on e5, just well, okay, having calculated this line, check and rook f2. And then I saw knight f5, I saw takes, I saw king h3, and then I was like, okay, GG. I mean, to be fair, the position was actually I guess I did the calculation a bit earlier. My knight was on f5, this rook was here. I played knight takes d6, black played rook g7, and I'd already decided, like, okay, I'm going queen takes e5. But it wasn't too late to stop here and realize that this counterplay with check and knight f6 is a real problem. And then if you do see this, then of course it's not too late to change course and of course find the right move.
Well.
So, okay, I feel you guys are a little confused because you're expecting, like, easy, like, queen takes rook, knight fork, winning endgame. But that's easy stuff. Like, you guys are good at that. You can go to Puzzle Rush for that. But when it comes to a game, this is actually the stuff that
I like this. I like this
because this ended up costing me half a point. Actually, after queen e5, rook f1, it's another nice puzzle as to white to not play and lose. But
I thought you'd have to give up the queen for, like, both rooks somehow. But but how? Well, this is where I was looking at, like, knight f7, like knight f7, trying to muddy the waters or something. But wow, how do you get out of this?
Yeah, the other issue with knight f7 is black can ignore this one, and then you're still
right. Ouch.
still having to deal with this, right? Well, basically, so this is a real tough problem now because now this is a defense problem. When it comes to defending, the most important technique I think for defense is process of elimination, because you can eliminate a lot of moves finding that they lose quickly. For example, any move that doesn't move the queen or the king is going to deal with knight g4 check. Right, so you can eliminate a lot of moves like that. And king h3, Matt already eliminated because of rook h1, winning the queen this way. So that makes it a little bit easier, because then if you can eliminate moves, you eventually find a move that you can't eliminate so easily, and then that's the move you realize you have to play. Okay, long story short, I found the move queen d4, which is the only way to kind of keep black's pieces pinned, but without losing the queen. The other candidate would have been queen c3, but then the issue is that black has check.
Knight takes c4. Okay.
No, knight e4.
Oh no, knight takes e4 does not work. No, knight takes e4 and then
so check.
Or knight f7. Is that some? Yeah.
Wait. No, knight e4 white just takes back.
Sorry, I was like knight takes e4, knight f7, but it doesn't. Yeah.
But here black could give check, and then give this check. And now if we step on the h file, it's rook h1. And if the king goes to the f file, it's knight d1.
Wow.
So seeing this idea, I realized, okay, my queen should be on d4 in this position. And if the queen is on d4 in this position, then this black's pieces actually aren't coordinating well. This would actually be bad for black. White goes king e2, and black is probably going to start losing material. So after queen d4, black is basically forced to give perpetual check, something like this. I have to go back and then made a draw. Actually, I think white was lucky not to be losing here, given that the king is like in such a little mating net. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Good stuff.
Okay. Someone says, I know Kostya's cooking up another queen sack for Maya. I remember I was over at Rachel's place when you played that. Like, she was commentating for you, and she like freaked out. Yeah.
3 pieces just hanging. It was good. It was so good.
Nice. Alrighty, this one is black
thanks
to
for
play.
following Greek salad.
So you guys might have to flip the board on your end.
I think it's flipped. Yeah.
No, it's.
Or maybe I flipped it for you. Okay, cool.
It's
so black to play. Try to find the best move, and let's go back to Blood Queen for this one.
Okay. So if we were threatening back rank checkmate, well, okay, it's equal material, except for we're down a pawn. And first thing is there might be back rank stuff, because white's back rank is weak. So if we were to play like rook f8 or rook d8, then that would come with a threat of I guess I'll go with rook f8 because that prevents queen f5 check. The threat of taking on e4 and like takes with check, takes, and then, well, okay, wait, I have to calculate rook c8, rook f8. Assume we get a free move, and then queen takes, rook takes. Oh, then it's checkmate. Queen takes, check. Bishop takes, rook takes, checkmate. So that's the threat. And it looks pretty nice. So I'll try to find a move for white. Candidate moves. There's some knight checks. I guess knight g5, knight f6. Knight f6, I take it with the rook. Knight g5, I could take it with the pawn, and there's still no checks for white. And now there's another attack open on a g2. Any other defensive moves for white? I guess they can try to go h3 and make Luft. I guess I could also look at rook e8. I didn't look at rook e8 because that attacks the queen and it like skewers the knight. They have checks there, but I can move. So rook e8, queen f5 check, king h8, and the knight is pinned to checkmate, and the knight is attacked 3 times and only defended twice. And there's no other checks. So perhaps that is just the answer. And perhaps I was looking at other stuff for too long. Rook e8. There's queen takes e8, knight somewhere check. Takes. Okay, actually I'm down in exchange there, so I can't allow that. Yeah, rook e8, queen takes e8. I don't think I have a good response there. So actually maybe that's bad. But okay, my problem with rook f8, it really feels intuitively like rook f8 should be right, but after h3, I'm not really seeing anything, and it's not like I can go back to e8 because the situation hasn't really changed. Okay, both of White's pieces are tied to the knight right now. Other than like queen f5 check, there's not really like a whole lot they can do because my back rank is protected. So if I just go king h8, I'm threatening rook e8. And there's no checks. And if they move the knight, I can take the queen. If they move the queen, I can take the knight. So I just have to see if there's anything else they can do after king h8. Oh, they can move the knight, can't they? Where did they move the knight? I guess they can move the knight. No, they can't because it's checkmate if they move the knight. Okay, that's my move, king h8. I feel like I'm saying I feel like everything I say is wrong somehow.
That's funny. Matt, anything to add?
I was like doing the same. So after king h8, I was looking, well, that you can't play queen takes e5, so they could play queen g3. So king h8, queen g3. I was looking at like similar calculations in terms of the rook e8 stuff, but like you say, queen takes e8, I didn't actually consider. I was actually looking at like knight f6 or knight g5 checks, and then or like queen f5, but then it didn't work because I mean, if the king moves to the back rank, then yeah, fine. I have queen takes e8 check, which deals with all the problem. But just queen takes e8 seems pretty straightforward. I don't see. Or queen takes e8, queen d5. No, there's just no way. So yeah, that feels like it rules rook e8 out quite quickly. Then rook f8 and rook d8 didn't come super naturally to me because I didn't really think they were like actually threatening anything. And I really liked your idea of king h8, but then I'm just trying to calculate through because I'm like, yeah, well, what does white actually do? It's like king h8, queen g3, rook e8, and then you've got a problem. So like king h8 is starting to feel more and more like it because queen g3 defends the mate, but then rook e8 obviously is some kind of like attack on the knight, and we can't defend everything. So if the knight comes back, if it comes back to f2, then the rook hangs. If it comes back to d2, then the rook hangs. mate because the queen will be deflected to take it, and then we can get our mate. So yeah, king h8 is like so annoying. But it's like a really quiet move. But king h8 h3 maybe. Then is there any rook e1 problems? No, because we don't have those checks. Takes. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to find counterplay for white after king h8, but I'm not seeing it. King h8, king g1. Does that make any difference? No. King h8, knight g5, h takes g, queen takes g5, rook e8, queen h5 check, king g7, and I can then take on e8. So maybe there's some like weird. I know, but the king's on h8, right? So it's not even a check. So
We don't
even
have to
take the
play
knight.
rook e8 though, right? After knight g5. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's like king h8, knight g5, and
H takes g5, queen takes g5, even like.
Oh no,
Huh?
sorry, that just hangs mate. I just hung mate with knight g5 after king
Oh,
h8.
yeah, it's not check anymore. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Didn't I do the same thing? And then I just did it again.
Yeah. So king h8, queen g3, rook e8, knight g5, rook takes. Yeah. No, I can't see it. I couldn't see it last time, but okay. What about a queen trade? I didn't consider offering a queen trade. So king h8, queen c3. No queen trade is wanted. So let's say
Isn't
queen
there rook e8
d4.
there?
So queen c3. Right, king h8,
Rook e8.
queen c3, and rook e8. But then queen takes
Bishop takes
queen,
c6.
and okay, the knight's pinned. Yeah. Bishop takes where?
c6. The queen. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then the knight, and you've got and we've got no checks. Is that okay.
Matt's very resilient. He's finding like lots of ideas.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm still just trying to find like queen c3, rook e8. I don't have to take the queen. But moving the knight defends the rook, but you take my queen and the rook's undefended. So, and the king's on h8. So if you take my queen, I can't
If you
play
move
rook
the
takes
knight, there's
e8
queen
check.
takes g2.
And that of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So we're out of options. Yeah, okay, cool. I think I don't see a defense offering queen trade not helping. Yeah, I like your king h8.
Okay, yeah, you guys both like king h8. Yes, good, bravo. No, king h8, very strong. And now there's no getting out of rook e8. And white can resign, basically losing position. So
nice slow move. Those are the best moves to play in a game.
Very nice. So
like,
main thing was
satisfying moves you can play.
I would say main thing here was to see that rook e8 is losing to queen takes e8. That's very important. So Matt mentioned he actually missed that one. So nice job, Bloodqueen, to spot because you have to go. It's very easy to see rook e8, knight g5 check is not working for white, or knight f6 check not working for white. Because of the mate. But if white starts with queen takes e8, then of course that's a problem. And then if we go on rook f8, then white can defend with king g1 or h3, just fixing the back rank. So king h8 is the only move that kind of keeps all the threats alive and stops white's White's main counterplay.
It's weird that I wanted rook f8 to work so bad when I feel like rook e8 is like so natural, or should be.
Rook e8 should be kind of the first move we look at here, just because it's so forcing.
Yeah,
for sure. But it's not a crime to look at rook f8. Trying to get like the back rank.
It makes sense because yeah, threats.
Okay, let's do another one here. Okay, this one is black to play, and this one is for house line.
Okay.
And
oh, no.
So let's actually this one I want to just work it through together. So step one is try to find the idea for black.
Sure. Okay, so just a general eval of position. We have equal material. Black has a big space advantage in the center of the board. A very advanced pawn on e5, which is a little bit loose, just on the basis that it's a bit overextended. It can be defended, but at the expense of blocking the bishop. The bishop is a bit stuck in general by it, and I would love to keep it stuck in on principle with something like e6, but we'll get there. Also, having pawns on dark squares in general, I'm happy with if we were to sort of trade down into some kind of bishop endgame. This is like my game mindset now. Trying to think about what the hell my plan is. My rook on c8 is x-raying the queen, which is always nice. And my bishop on g7 is x-raying the e5 pawn. So it's not really going to get off that dark square until the rook moves, which is quite nice as well for me. If we move our rook off the back rank, there could be some issues with a check from white with like bishop f8 and the other bishop coming in. That said, like it's still a little while till that bishop is free enough to like join the attack. Half of me is trying to figure out like, so if I could, the pawn is currently pinned to the queen as well. It's just a tactical motif, so I'm trying to figure out. So being able to take that rook would allow us to take the queen, but it's not necessarily that straightforward for us at the moment. And white has some background problems. Now, queen a8 check, which is the thing that literally has only just occurred to me, which should be the first thing I look at, is very quickly, potentially refuted by rook d1. So we can't really do too much there. But if we were to take the c3 pawn, white can't take with the b pawn because that would hang the queen. And then if the queen were to take, then there's back rank problems. That said, there is rook d1 check as an intermezzo, but the queen is hanging after that. So I don't think you can even take it after. So rook d1, bishop f1. The queen has to either take the rook, which is then giving us mate, or moving out of the way, for example, going queen d1 to protect the rook. And we can pick up another pawn, and then we've got two connected passes, which feels pretty good to me. Now, is there anything else? Like rook takes c3. any other checks? I mean, we can go rook c3, queen d2 as well. But then that won't work because we have queen a8 check, queen d1, and rook c1, and we'll pick up a queen. I mean, I'm fairly happy. Okay, so like rook c3, queen a4. No. Rook c3 is such a forcing move. Yeah. I'm a big fan of rook c3. I don't really want to calculate anything else at this point. I can't.
All right, so
c3,
rook c3 definitely
queen d1.
big idea for black, right? Because if it works, then you're winning the game possibly. Now let's try really hard to refute it. Basically, let's put ourselves in our opponent's shoes and work like really hard.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. So as soon as you put the position on the board, I was like,
I see.
rook c3. And then the whole, like half the time that I was thinking, I was just sitting there like really happy with myself. Like, yeah, I found it. Like I'm the best. And then like,
I think
I know. And then I was like,
well.
no, this is stupid. Like none of these puzzles are that easy. Like this is why you don't like solve anything, is because like you find it something and you're just happy with yourself. And you don't look for reputations. Like, so queen a4 and rook a4 are like, things that you have to look at, or specifically rook a4, and then you're trading it. It's not like you're winning, but yeah.
Okay, so rook a4 is a move, sure.
No, rook a4 is losing for white. No, rook a4, you take the queen and there's back rank mate. So I think the refutation is rook d8, bishop f8, rook takes f8 check.
Rook takes f8 check? Oh.
No, because then, hang on. No, maybe because I thought I could pick up the rook, but I can't actually. So that also doesn't work. Because I thought rook a4, and then rook takes c2, and then I'm threatening
I guess then
queen
a4 has to be...
but then you just have queen rook c1 mate. Rook c. No, you don't. Oh no, you do. Rook c1.
I guess you can't go. You have to go
d1,
queen d1.
Queen takes a4.
But then you're losing your queen. So maybe that's not it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. Maybe I'm not. But how? So rook c3, queen a4, rook c1, rook d1, queen takes a4. Because I thought there was some like you actually sat the exchange. You can pick up the rook.
Sorry.
You can't.
You can go.
Yeah. So my idea was rook c3, rook d1, bishop f8, rook f8, king f8, and then how do I actually defend? I suppose I can just go like. No, I can't. So maybe my exchange sack is not the one, because the queen can always come to the back rank. Is there rook c3? I'm trying to, and then rook a4, rook c2. No. Okay, like rook c3, queen e2. Like you don't have to. I mean, it all feels good, like because you can come back and like defend against like the mate threat, but you're like picking up those pawns, which feels pretty good. So
wait, I saw something and then I lost it. After rook c3, there was like some line that I saw where queen b1 was a move, but then I lost it because I stopped thinking about it.
Oh, but maybe rook c3, queen c1, queen takes b2, rook d1, bishop f8, rook takes f8, king takes f8, queen d1. No, I need to get this bishop out. So this bishop is going to be a key factor in like the counterplay. If I can get e6 in, like, and then these checks and stuff, like, then that's going to be hugely problematic. So maybe like rook c3, e6, rook takes c2. Oh no, you just got queen a8. So you don't like rook c3, e6, queen a8. Oh no, we have rook d1. So rook c3, e6, rook takes c2, rook d8 check.
After
No,
e6, can't you go
do
queen a8 check?
Queen a8, rook
d1. Queen.
Rook takes c2, rook
I
takes
mean,
a8.
queen a8, rook d1. Yeah.
But we can also just go like queen d1. And then no, this is what I was looking at. It's like queen d1, queen takes b2, threatening me big time.
I don't know. I really like your rook takes f8 idea.
Yeah, but I don't see the follow up after, because I thought like rook takes f8, king takes f8. Because then like mate is still a problem, and I've got to get the queen to the back rank somehow. But maybe it's like comes later. But I was trying to find if there was like any form of like perpetual or anything, but I don't see it. Rook c3, rook d8, bishop f1, queen d1. Queen takes b2. And is there like queen? No, it can't. I thought the queen could come to like h6 or something. But
it's bad because of this. Rook here. It's bad because of that.
I see so many ghosts.
Okay, so feels like rook c3. We're again looking at a lot of candidates like right here on the first move, like queen a4, rook a4, queen d1, rook d8 check. But we want to do this like thorough candidate search. What's White's most forcing move after rook takes c3?
Rook d8.
Rook d8, right?
And bishop f8. Like,
yeah. So because rook d8 forces bishop f8, we have some potential back rank issues ourselves. Our rook is on c3 still, hanging. Queen is on c2, hanging. Let's try to find something here for White.
So I thought it was rook takes f8, king takes f8, and then I'm struggling to see like what my follow up is. So I can go queen d1, I guess. Because everything's hanging.
Wait, if you go bishop f4, you're not getting back rank mated anymore, and you're threatening bishop h6. So that's something to look at least.
Of course. And your queen, yeah.
Rook c3.
That's because I was like, can we get the queen to h6 earlier? It's like, no, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Rook c3, rook d8 check, bishop f8, bishop f4. Their queen is hanging, but then if we go rook takes c2, bishop h6, yeah, they have an e7 pawn, or we have an e7 pawn, so there's like nothing we can do. I don't think. Yeah. I had a thing like this in a game, and I hallucinated that like f6 gave the f7 square, but now I know that actually when it's this kind of mate, you can't even play f6.
Nice. Yeah, well done. So yeah, takes looks super, super tempting, but White has this absolute cold shower kind of resource, bishop f4.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, because I was like, that bishop's just so annoying. How do we get it out in time? And I was like, oh, what a find. That's such a great find.
Nice find. Blood Queen. But it sounds like you had this pattern recently in your games. Which
I had it in a sparring game.
Yeah, which makes it a lot less surprising that you found it. which is good because like the more kind of puzzles and chess we see, the more easier it is to find resources later on. And yeah, it's a tough one for black to accept here, but it's like there's no defense. It's game over. Because now the key point, of course, is that the rook is hanging. So you can save your back rank with h6 or something. You can avoid getting mated, but then you're losing the rook. So and then after this and here, mate is unstoppable. Question about queen a5. Minimum white can desperado the rook and then take black's rook with an extra piece. Probably that's best. Yeah, this actually comes from a Tall game. Tall was white, and I think his opponent fell for. It's a very unlikely trap. You know, it's like, wow, he must have thought he was getting Tall. He's like, oh, I got him.
Cold shower, yeah. Just like the panic.
Just it's like
bishop f4.
Even
That's
like
really
rook takes
hard to
c3, if I
consider.
saw that in a game, I would already be so proud of myself. Like it's like easier to see that in a puzzle, but like so hard to look for that in a game. And then like he like saw rook takes c3 and he was like, no, I'll allow it. I'll allow it because I found a refutation to this move that like, you know, most people wouldn't even consider. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's a I don't know if it was like a trap like set by Tall, but it's a very nice it's a really nice trick. Next one here.
Yeah, it's amazing the resources you can find when you get hit with something that you don't see coming, and you're like, oh, actually I do have a refutation to this. I just didn't realize.
Okay, so you guys are doing good. Mainly the idea is we're just working on not just finding candidate moves for ourselves, but for the opponent as well, which actually is, I think, one of the hardest things in chess. This one, let's go back to Bloodqueen, white to play.
Okay, so it's equal. Nope, we're up 3 pawns, but our queen is hanging, and yeah, rook takes c7 jumps out because rook takes c7, rook takes b6, rook takes d7, and we're up another piece there. So after rook takes c7, we have to see if there's like bishop takes c7, then we can take the rook. So that was just we're up a piece there too. Rook takes c7. I'm trying to see if like I can find a reason why that's a bad move. I guess what are some candidate moves for my opponent after rook takes c7? Other than queen takes c7. Oh, I didn't look at queen takes c7 actually. Rook takes c7, queen takes c7. Queen takes a3 or a6. And I'm up a piece. Bishop h2 check. And then I just move and I'm fine. Okay, does rook b8 do anything? No, I can just take it and then take... Oh, actually, okay, let's look at it. Rook takes c7, rook b8, queen takes b8, and then... I'm having trouble keeping this position in my mind. Rook takes, rook b8, queen takes b8, check. My rook is pinned to my queen. But I already took a piece, and I took a piece and I took a rook. So if I take after check, also they have to block the check somehow. I guess the best way to do it is bishop f8. And then I can just take the queen. So rook c7, bishop h2. Because after king takes h2, like, there's queen d6 check. Nope, there isn't. That just hangs a queen. So what am I looking for? I don't see a refutation for black after rook takes c7. Should I keep looking?
Well, what do you think?
Yes, I feel like there's something that I'm not seeing.
Feels too easy,
but I
right? Yeah.
I can't figure out what, like,
So
for the life of me, what
try
it
to
could be.
try to reset, right? Like rook c7, black to play, put yourself in your opponent's shoes. Try to see if you can find an idea.
Also, chat, no suggesting
Oh, I have
moves.
chat closed. Okay, after rook c7, if the queen moves somewhere, then our rook and our queen would be hanging. So if the queen goes to c8 or a4, actually a4 is probably better because it's attacking our rook and it's defending their rook. So rook takes c7, queen a4, then rook's hanging, queen's hanging. I could take a rook, but actually I can't really take a rook because then they take on with checkmate. Okay. So
Wait,
I'm glad I
try
found
to
that.
let's nail in that line real quick because I really want you to get the visualization right. So rook c7,
Okay.
queen a4.
Queen a4.
You said queen takes rook.
Yeah.
Black
Queen
goes
takes.
queen takes where?
Queen takes d1 mate.
d1, and then we do have a move there.
Oh, queen f1.
Good.
Oh, that's hard to visualize.
And
Rook
try
takes
to work that
c7.
line out, until the end. So go, you
And then
revisualize and then go back and try to see if you can work it out until the very end.
Okay. Rook takes c7, queen a4. Okay. Takes c7, queen a4, queen takes a6. The rook is still hanging. The queen's okay, so they can play queen takes a6 and my rook will be hanging, but I'll have a piece and a rook for the queen. They can play queen takes d1 check and I can play queen f1 and I would have taken a piece and a rook and then lost a rook. So I would be but my rook is still hanging. So I can play queen f1, queen takes f1, king takes f1, bishop takes c7, and I've won a piece. And here, I've lost an exchange. So actually, that's not good.
What's the exact material?
I'm down in exchange for 3 pawns. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct. But is that bad?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, technically, no. But, you know, if I was playing this in a tournament game, I would look at that and I would be like, I can't win that, or I can't hold that.
Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at that one. But I want you to find an improvement on this line somewhere along, because it's very forcing, but there's a very clear improvement somewhere along the way.
Okay.
So rook c7, queen a4, queen takes a6.
Mm-hmm.
If black takes your queen, we have a lot of material for the queen, so we'll set that aside.
Mm-hmm.
So queen takes d1.
Queen takes d1, queen f1, only move. Are you asking for an improvement for white or for black, or should I try to find?
Try to work it out. I mean, queen f1
Okay.
only legal move, so it's not going to be there.
Okay. Yeah. After queen f1, so if they don't take on f1, that's definitely not forced because right now their queen is hanging, but our rook is hanging. So there's a knight there. Like it would be nice if the queen could get to f4, e5 or something, but it can't. I'm gonna go through the line again. Sorry if anyone in
Very
chat is
good.
getting sick of me saying this. Rook c7, queen a4, queen takes a6, queen takes d1 check, queen f1, and then okay. So this is what it looks like. And the queen can go anywhere it likes. Our bishop isn't hanging, but it is seeing the bishop. Okay. Bishop h2, and then you can draw the king away from the queen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so bishop h2 problem. Okay, so Matt, anything to add on here? Or actually, what's the conclusion here? Is rook c7 working or not?
Well,
That's it. I just like from what I said, not working probably.
Do we have to take on h6? Yes. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything else after like 27 queen a4 feels very annoying. We've got a bishop on a1 that's kind of pointed at the king. But if it's material for the queen, there's one thing I'm actually really bad at in my calculation is keeping track of material count.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually suck at being able to count.
Yeah, it's a good one for that.
I mean, I'm happy to go up a lot of material because I've just got these like 3 pawns and a nicely placed knight / bishop kind of. Because I'm wondering about like rook c7, queen a4, queen takes d6, rook takes d6. No, I still lose the rook check. Yeah, whoops.
Good.
And then king h2, rook takes, and that is not.
The queen.
I've got, yeah, and then I'll lose my bishop as well. So like that's definitely not worth it. I can't count the material, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be the one. Rook takes. Sure. Yeah, so rook c7 feels like it doesn't work because of that line. There's a lot of restriction on the king. The question is if we want to give up material for the queen anyway, we have 2 minor pieces, 2 heavies, and so do you. But a queen for a rook is not the one, but there is a pin on this bishop, sort of, at the moment. But my rook is undefended, so not helpful. Yeah, I don't have anything to add on the rook c7 line, I don't think.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's...
I was wondering about like queen b7.
No, it doesn't work.
But queen a4 is still a problem, but then I have queen f3, so not so much of a problem. And I just sort of try and keep the status quo a little bit. So queen b7, queen a4, queen f3, queen takes... yeah, it's like maybe that's a safer route. Trying to protect my rook on d1 and get my queen out of dodge, and I'm going to give up some material for that. That's only purely based on the rook c7 line not working, going through that. I'm trying to look at like more chill options. And anywhere I place my queen now is not really good, so it feels like I've only really got one good option, which is queen b7. Unless there's like rook c7, queen a4, rook takes... no. f7, queen takes d1 check, and that's mate.
No, we don't have enough tempo.
Can I defend d4?
We don't have enough tempo. Sorry? Like if we had like one tempo to like obstruct something or block something or anything, we would be fine. But I think we just have to go queen b7.
Yeah. And no, there's no like queen d6 or anything, no tactics I can quickly see anyway. Yeah, I think queen b7, and I'm still threatening rook c7 afterwards in some of that line. So, well, queen b7. Okay, I've got to go queen f3 then. Or like, actually, queen b7, queen a4, I can go rook c1. And then I've got some bigger threats.
We try to calculate. Queen b7, rook a3.
Oh, rook a3. Wait.
I mean, it's hanging.
Oh, rook a3 instantly. And then rook takes c7.
And then...
oh, you can go queen a... oh, well, you can go bishop takes or queen
that's
takes.
True. You have to...
I suppose, actually, I'm giving up those pawns now. So, like, maybe I don't want to give up the exchange. Because, like, the pawns are all going. Oh, hang on. Is everything forkable on c7? Because the knight has access to b5. So, for example, queen b7.
Oh, you just take a bunch of times on c7 and then you go knight b5?
Yeah, or just once. So queen c7, rook a3, rook takes. If you go queen takes, then I will fork. Well, if you go queen takes, I'll trade the queens and then fork you on b5. If you take with the bishop, I will still try and... no. That's a lie. d1's hanging big time. So maybe that doesn't work.
Wait, sorry. What was your line? Because you said something...
take. So, sorry. Queen b7, rook a3. And then I was going to do rook c7, but that fails because... well, I say fails. Bishop takes c7. I don't have knight b5 anyway, which was like my wanted plan, because knight b5 would allow queen takes d1 mate. So that's not so fun for me. So queen b7, rook a3. Is there any...
I'm trying to make rook d6 work.
Feels like I'm just losing those.
But rook d6, rook takes a1. Check.
Wait, rook d6?
Yeah. Queen b7, rook a3.
Queen b7.
And then, wait.
What, knight b5 straight away?
No, that doesn't work. Okay, yeah, ignore me.
Knight b5 because of, well, why doesn't
because
it work?
they can just take it.
And then we take on d6, maybe?
They take on a1 with check, and then they
rook
just
takes
move.
a1,
I mean,
mate.
it's fine, but it's not winning. Is that all we're trying to do, though? We'll just be up 2 pawns there. Queen b7, rook a3.
No, but we lose the pawn.
We lose 1 pawn. We have 2.
Well, no, we've still got 1 pawn. Yeah.
So queen b7, rook a3, knight b5, knight takes b5.
Oh, then I win the queen. Thanks. On knight takes b5, the queen's hanging.
What? Oh, queen b7. You're right. Yeah.
So,
oh, wait. Yeah, knight b5 is good.
No, because you can play queen takes. So temporarily up a piece, and then I can play queen takes, knight takes, which then defends everything. So queen takes, and then
wait, you're saying queen takes b5?
Rook takes d6. Yeah.
Then
so
queen takes d6. Queen b7.
Then
rook a3.
Queen takes d6. Yeah, but then we do the knight, so I put my knight there, and you've taken it for free,
Wait,
and
sorry.
I'm getting the bishop back.
Queen b7, rook a3, knight b5, queen takes b5 is what I'm looking at, right?
And then queen takes, and then queen takes d6.
Oh, you can't take on d6. Your queen's on b7. That's why I was getting confused in this line.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Queen b7, rook a3, knight b5, queen takes b5. Okay, so that's our problem.
Yeah, and then the bishop on d6 is protected by the knight on b5. So like knight b5 is a bit rogue.
I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that means bad.
yeah. Got a bit out there.
Okay, so I think we're going a little too deep now, because really we are just looking for a move to play right here.
Yeah.
Queen b7, queen f3.
So, okay, it sounds like you guys are both on team queen b7.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's kind of the main thing to find here is like rook c7, queen a4 is just a huge issue for white because everything hangs. And yeah, the key line here being queen takes rook. Black were to take this one, then white has a lot of material for the queen and even gets rook c6, queen a4 anyway. But here white would maybe be doing okay. But yeah, queen takes d1 allows black to take even more material. So then we end up in this endgame where white has not enough, 2 pieces only and a couple pawns. Okay, we did have a question about this one after queen a6, queen d1, and takes and bishop c7. And how we would evaluate this endgame.
I'd be happy to have this.
Yeah, this one.
I mean, playing it's one thing, but
we should be pretty happy with this as white. Number one, we're up material, so we're up a pawn because knight and 2 pawns basically
d4.
worth the rook. But also, it's like we've got 2 very healthy, connected passers. The pieces are like easily coming in to support these. The king is super close. Knight has a beautiful square on d4 where it's just protected. So basically black is more or less just lost. Like this is just and I think you can play a number. I think you can play a4 here. I think you play a bunch of moves. a4 is probably simple enough. a4, a5, and just kind of slowly bringing everything in. And just pushing the pawns. Main thing to understand is just that black has no counterplay, so they have no pass pawns of their own. Their rook isn't active. Their king is further away, so it should be pretty straightforward for white.
Pushing pawns would scare me. I'd want to get like this is a thing. This is something I probably need to work on in my game in general. Is like actual like some pawn theory because that my first instinct would be like knight c6, bishop d4, bishop c5, kind of like then I'd consider about like a4, a5 kind of stuff, because like I feel scared that I can't protect pawns, but maybe it's fine.
No, that's
It's more about
perfectly logical.
calculation.
This was honestly because on bishop c3 I saw maybe black goes rook a8, and then we have to kind of defend the a pawn. So this was just me thinking, oh, why not start with a4, because I know I can keep everything defended like this. Or if rook b8 bishop comes to c, this is just simple. Like, okay, I just saw I saw the construction, but in general you're right. Like, you want to bring your king in first, and then start pushing just push everything together, because your king is also just going to be a super useful piece. So that's not a bad instinct to have. I was just seeing that there's no real drawback here. But yeah, so rook c7 can be discarded because queen a4 and then queen d1 in this whole line. So that's enough to play queen b7. We don't have to really see further, because maybe black goes queen a4, maybe black goes rook takes a3. We kind of understand intuitively we should have some option there. So you can think about it for a little bit, but you don't really need to decide on this one whether you're going to go for knight b5. You can play b5. You can go, like, white has many moves here. So the position's not as forcing, so we don't really have to calculate very far. We've kept 2 extra pawns, and yeah, should be happy.
I do have to. I have to go to the bathroom, but I'll be like back in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
For the record, I think here knight b5, queen b5. I think this still works for white if you find rook c7, but it's not really necessary, because this move is enough, and I think white has a number of very reasonable moves. Someone's saying calculation training where the coach tells you don't have to calculate. So that's a big part, actually, of being like efficient with your calculation, is knowing when to stop the line, because a lot of players will waste time kind of spending 10 minutes on something that's not relevant. So as an example, sometimes I see players get this position, they start calculating take, queen takes a6, and then think, but am I really going to be able to win this? What if they go rook e8, or what if they go bishop h2 check? It's like, this is not a position where we keep calculating. This is a position where we stop and evaluate. We're up a lot of extra material, extra piece and multiple pawns. So unless you think your opponent is immediately checkmating you here, you don't kind of keep going from here. So this is kind of an example where it's not helpful to keep going further and further. Which I would say is not the
I've got a
easiest
question.
Thing.
Because also I often do this maybe when I go deeper, but I sort of put ghost pieces on the board, or like actually, prime example was the English attack game I played. I didn't go for the sack when it was absolutely crushing, because in like when I got down to my calculation, like a few moves down, there was like the rook was still on like c8 or something. I suppose, is there a way is practice just the best way to try and combat that? Like of calculation of like lines.
In terms
Hello.
of in terms of avoiding the hallucination.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing is because like the pieces are still on the board where they are, so I think that had something to do with it as well, because I'm like 6 or 7 moves deep in like a very forcing line, and then I'm like, oh, but the rook on c8 there guards the back rank, like if that wasn't there, kind of thing. So yeah, like the hallucination of pieces that you've traded off in like a line or something.
Right. Yeah, that basically comes with practice, and also like trying not to go super deep. So it's really important to like recognize. Bloodqueen is good at doing this, like recognizing when you've lost the position and you're not fully seeing it anymore. Because then if you keep calculating, then you're just calculating in a false position, right? So it's not helpful, and you're definitely gonna miss stuff. So it's like really important to keep track of like when you're actually seeing things clearly and when you're not, so you can avoid going down a super deep rabbit hole, let's say.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's not as always not easy. And it's like a constant balance of like trying to understand, okay, what am I looking for in this position? Am I looking for like a forced win or just like a decent move? And then balancing how much time you spend on each variation versus the requirements of the position and what you're kind of looking for. And people always ask, well, like, well, how do I know if I'm looking for like a tactic or a combination? Or what? It's like, well, if you have an attacking position, if your pieces are well placed and you've built up this attack, then it's time to look for the winning combination. And if nothing is working, that's a sign that one of your pieces needs to be improved. You have to improve your position in some other way, and so on. So this is how, yeah, slowly you kind of work through the process. Okay, let's do another one here.
I do feel like when I'm training, I can almost get to a point where I can see things okay. But when I play like an actual game over the board, like the combination of like the stress and like the whatever, like however much I'm going over the same line over and over again in my head now, I do that like 3 times as much over the board. And like it just makes me tank all of my time for like simple things. Like this is like hard to see. It's also like just really simple like capture chains, like 3 moves ahead. And then just to see the position, I need to be like in a really, I just can't do it. And I guess that would come with practice, but it stresses me out thinking that like I might need to do that in order to not fall into this in a tournament game. Like if I had this position in a game, like that's how much I would need to do to not lose. And I can't do that. So I would lose that game. And like the concept of that is really scary to me. So
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So it's something about like
Thanks for the raid, Collegiate Chess League.
being able to feel confident, like when you calculate one line, like you like you've calculated, you've exhausted it, you move on to the second line and the third line and so on. I would say it's not like that's how everyone does it. I would say for the most part, players often do revisit lines, but maybe there's more of a structure in how they think about stuff. And yeah, that allows them to kind of be more efficient. So if they calculate a line, they feel good about it. They don't really try to like recalculate it unless they absolutely have to. Let me see if I can find a good example to share with you guys, because yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, time management is its whole thing, Dijin. And that is also why Chess Dojo have actually made a time management rating analysis tool, which is pretty cool. So you get your time management rating. So you can be a 2500 without being a 2500. That is what I have learned. But yeah, it's showing me how badly I'm actually tanking in games, which is
what's funny is actually in every game that I've played so far, my time management is great. Especially I have a lot of friends who struggle with time management, and like that's like never a problem. I almost play too fast sometimes, but it's because I don't trust myself to like see anything if I spend the time calculating. So I just kind of like give up, and I'm like I just don't go for any tactical lines because I don't trust myself, basically, which is not a way to play.
I think my time usage has gotten worse. I think it was good, but since I've been doing a lot of calculation, my time
makes you
usage
worse,
has definitely
right?
gotten a lot worse because I'm spending much more time calculating, which I think is a really good thing because my calculation is definitely better. But yeah, like I am definitely tanking a bit more because I do the exact same where I just repeat lines in my head, being like, just making sure, like, and then trying to like, oh, I didn't look for candidate moves, and go from ground zero again. What's their rating? So I'm
1400 blitz.
B-Day, and I think Anushka's about the 1400
blitz.
No, my blitz is now for like 1500.
I like telling people that I'm like a super low rating though. Like I still tell people I'm 1200 if they ask me in person, but it's hard to say here.
Nice.
So yeah, that all makes sense. What you guys are saying, time management is, I think, one of the trickiest parts, and it's a lot of it just comes down to balance and understanding the kind of position you're in and what it requires of you. Simply put, complicated positions with opposite sides castling, these are going to be sharper and they require a lot of calculation. Positions that are quieter still require calculation, but not as much, where you should be kind of spinning out on every single move. But part of that is also has to do with like your chess understanding and your experience in certain middle games. If you played a kind of middle game before, you kind of realize, okay, in this position I need to do this, this, and this, and it's like you kind of have a sense of how things go, and you don't rely so much on just your concrete calculation because you already have a sense of like what you're supposed to do. Okay, next position here, it's white to play. Black's last move was queen b6.
Is this from a French?
And this one was Sicilian, but very similar structure to what you could get in the French, I think. Yeah, let's see. I think this is Matt's turn now. So Matt, why don't you take us through your thought process and tell us what you would.
Did you say white to play, and did you say black just played?
Last one was queen b6. Yeah, just so for your reference.
Queen b6.
And so let's try to come up with what white should do here.
Okay. I mean, we are pretty solid on the king side, so I'm not worried about any attacks coming in on my king. b2 is hanging as d4 is being threatened, but isn't hanging. Rook on e1, knight on... I mean, okay, like, before anything, I'm like, oh, I need to develop my last two pieces, the rook on e3 and the rook on a1 and the knight on b1. That said, what am I... do I have any checks? No. Do I have any threats? Well, dc5, bishop c5. And that doesn't feel very helpful to my position currently. I also have d5 threatening to attacking a knight and a pawn all at the same time. So either the knight has to move or the pawn has to take, so that's quite forcing. d5. Let's start with knight d4 feels like it loses a pawn, but then maybe we lose the d pawn. So d5, knight d4, bishop take. Let's go knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, bishop c5. That feels quite okay-ish for us, because we gain the pawn. We can then take on e6. We do develop Black's bishop, but we gained a pawn for it. Well, I actually counted the material as well, even material currently. So d5, knight d4 doesn't feel... Knight takes... but d5, queen b2. Knight d2. Knight e5. Knight d4 then. But maybe we can take and we go up the exchange even. So that's something to calculate. So d5, queen b2, knight, d takes c, queen takes a1. Do I take again? And put the bishop on a better diagonal. Yeah. I'm not particularly liking giving up the exchange like that. I think my pawns get all of it shattered as well, and the board's quite open. So I'll stop there. So after knight d2, so I'll play knight d2 instead. So d5, queen b2, knight d2. Maybe something like knight b4. Can I go knight b3 as well? But yeah, so I'm not seeing a clear-cut way to like trap the queen, if there is a way. Wonder if I need to play like a3 or something. Because then on knight e2, do I have any traps? No, I don't. Okay. d5, queen b2, knight d2, knight d4. Knight takes d4, pawn takes d4. Bishop f4 would be, doesn't feel great. It's like, I don't know, d5 is just something in my gut's being saying, again, this is not the way to calculate chess. I shouldn't say something in my gut. That's the worst thing I could say, but d5, queen takes b2, d6 as well is like potential. Queen takes a1. We take on e7, knight takes e7. Bishop c5 feels kind of nice. So like d5, queen b2, d6, knight e4, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. That's great for us. So maybe like d5, d6 is kind of interesting to me. So d5, queen d2, d6, queen takes a1, bishop, pawn takes e7, knight takes e7, bishop c5, rook e8, or can the queen come back at all? Because the queen is going to need to, because otherwise, we're not protecting a2 though. Something like knight c3. So on queen b2, maybe we've got like knight a4, knight c3, pawn takes, knight takes, bishop across. D5, d6 feels a bit too much as well, but I kind of like it better than taking on c6 and allowing the rook. But yeah, this is where I'm getting into like the repetitive mode of like d5, queen b2, knight d2.
So let me ask,
as like it feels kind of critical.
What are our Canada moves so far?
So yeah, that's a great question. So one was d5, because we're attacking the knight. One is d takes c. Which, and yeah, that's, I mean, knight e5 could be a candidate as well, but cd, knight takes c6. Oh, Siri, no. Yeah, so knight e5 is an idea also.
Wait. Let's just, before we
Yeah, I mean, those are
go
the
too deep
more
there.
forcing
Let's
moves.
let's just like define our options, right? Because this is still pretty early on.
I mean,
there's not going to be like
in a game, I could definitely just play knight c3, like.
Right. So yeah, it's not like we're
Sorry.
looking for some kind of Greek gift knockout sacrifice, right? I can assure you guys there's no Greek gift available. So it's just a matter of choosing our options, and so it's understanding like what phase of the game we're in here. So let me ask Anushka, what should White's goal be for this position, just kind of strategically?
I think maintain the center, the d pawn, and finish developing the queen side. Yeah, I looked at d5. I mean, d5 was like my first instinct, but then I saw rook d8, and then I just kind of stopped looking. And I looked at dc. I looked at knight bd2. I looked at knight c3. Yeah, I didn't really seriously consider queen c2, and I didn't. I guess I also considered queen b3. I looked at that and I liked it, but not that much. I like knight c3 more because after queen b2, knight a5, knight a4, queen b4, queen a3, knight takes c5, bishop takes c5, pawn takes c5, and we've gotten the bishop pair, and pawns are equal, but we have the queenside majority, so we're pushing. We've traded off a pair of minors. So that's probably what I would go with. But I was having
I did not consider queen b3. Like, yeah, at all. That's
queen
so funny.
b3.
Wait, I
It
missed
looks
it. So,
okay.
what line would you go with?
I probably would play knight c3, and yeah, I would be happy with that line.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically, you're right. Like we, as white here, we're trying to like develop. Um, Ideally, we don't want to play a move like b3, or rook e2 or queen c2 because like these moves are a bit passive, and it's like we just want to develop our knight as quickly as possible. If we can make dc work or d5 work, that would also be nice. But there's a sense of like it being a bit too early to push d5 because we're not fully developed. So like Anushka has a really good instinct. Like d5 rook to d8, that starts to feel suspicious. We're pinned. We're under pressure, and that's a great moment to just be like, maybe not d5. What else do we have? And then if you don't find anything else, then maybe you return to d5 one day and be like, okay, maybe I do have to play d5. But yeah, like the most logical and natural move that we like to play is knight c3 to develop. The only question is on queen to b2. How do we respond to this? So Blood Queen said knight a4 and then knight takes c5. But maybe we have something better.
I mean, we do have like rook b1, queen a3. There's quite normal ideas for like, or like some kind of poison pawn. But I'm wondering if we can just maybe leave the queen there and just say it's not doing much right now because we can. Oh no, sorry, the knight is hanging on c3, so we do need to fix that. My bad. Knight c3, queen c2. Yeah, maybe knight a4, knight takes c5. No, but knight a4. Where's the queen going?
I mean, b4 or a3.
Queen a3.
Oh, actually, the queen. Okay.
Well, we have knight takes c5.
Yeah, but Kostya's asking, do we have something better than knight takes c5? So after queen b4, we have a3, like pawn a3, but then the queen has a5. And if we go bishop d2 in that position, then the queen can just go back to c7. Except
But
we can take on c5 there.
I mean, we could take on c5 and then put
Yeah,
the knight
that
on
actually
d6.
that looks good. Huh. And then what if queen a3 after knight a4?
We can do the same.
Well, we don't have a3. Oh, I mean, it's still protecting the c pawn.
I mean,
But now
take on
the
c5.
queen is.
But then
Yeah,
I
the
guess we
queen's
are
protecting
kind
it still. It would be nice if we could go bishop c1.
Oh no, but can we just go knight b6 anyway? And then we're threatening the rook and
Oh,
bishop.
yeah.
But does that matter? Does that actually matter at all? Like, what's the knight going to do after the rook moves? I mean, it's annoying. It's tempo, and the knight's going to be there, and it's going to be really annoying, which is nice. And then we take. No, we can't take on c5. We'd lose it. So maybe not. But we could offer a queen trade. No. There's queen a5 after as well. So maybe not.
Well,
don't
b4.
see
Yeah,
queen
at
b4.
b4, and then if we go back to d2, they can repeat. And if we hit them with a3, they can go queen a5, and then they're going back to c7. So that was the first thing. Yeah.
And we've got no rook b1. So maybe we go like queen a3, rook b1. Is queen takes a2 just a bit deadly for them? Is it a bit scary?
Queen a3.
Because then we
Well,
got
no,
rook b2.
the knight's hanging.
No, the
Oh, wait, sorry. Can you say
protecting
the line again?
d1. Queen, knight c3,
Mhm.
queen takes b2,
Mhm.
knight a4. I mean, queen a3, but I'm going off queen a3 now. But after queen a3, can we go rook b1? Because the queen's getting very limited for
Okay.
squares. And then on queen takes a2, we actually have like rook b2, which forces the queen to a3 again. And then...
What about rook
I mean,
e2, and then the bishop is still looking at a3? So knight c3,
yes.
queen takes b2, knight a4, queen a3, rook b1, or yeah, that was your thought, rook b1, queen takes a2, rook e2.
Yeah.
Okay, both rooks are defended, can't go there, can't go there. Yeah, the queen is trapped, isn't it?
I mean, it looks too dangerous to take. It's always dangerous to take that pawn.
Yeah, it's trapped. There's no squares.
But I don't know. So maybe taking the pawn is like, yeah. So knight c3 and they don't take the pawn like that, and then we play a game. Like, well, you got to make sure that.
Yeah. Well, we got to play knight
Yeah,
c3, so we have no more problems basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Play knight c3. I think it's too dangerous to take the pawn.
Okay, good. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are just kind of intuitively going with this, which I do this too sometimes in a game where I'm like, it has to work. If they take, I'll figure out how I'm gonna trap the queen. But it just looks too dangerous. So let's say they do take. We put this on the board. Say we go here. I would say queen b4 feels like the more critical defense because we're trying to escape with queen a5. And okay, now that we're here,
But bishop d2.
what should we do?
Bishop d2.
I mean, bishop d2 stops
now we don't
the
have rook
running,
e2 anymore
running away.
in the future.
That's fine.
Let's be concrete. So bishop d2, where does black go?
Or is it?
Queen a3.
My bad. Queen a3, only move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
yeah, then rook e3.
Oh, do we have bishop b4? No, we don't. The queen could take. Okay. Well.
No, but rook e3, attacking the queen.
Oh, rook e3. Oh.
And yeah. Is there any weird blocking, defending, knight e5?
Yeah, that looks trapped.
Ideas or anything? Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So here and here. And that's it. Queen is caught. Actually, you could do a similar thing on queen a3. In that you can start with bishop c1. And you essentially
and then bishop d2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's typical that a queen taking b2 like this will get trapped when white is kind of well developed, your castle, your rooks are connected. So this is not too surprising. So some players will just make this decision kind of intuitively, saying like, okay, knight a4, queen b4, and then there's no way. It's also nice to kind of have this like safety valve of you can always take on c5 and get your pawn back. So if you don't have a good way to actually win the queen. But the important thing here is, we play knight c3 because otherwise we're losing a lot of time. Every other move basically would be less critical. But now we're developing, we're threatening knight a4 in the position, and white is a good, decent game here. All right, nice job. Here, let's do one last one here. Oh, someone's asking if they can take on d4 first. They can. I don't think it changes the evaluation. So here, let's say have knight a4 again, queen b4. Now I don't think the queen gets immediately trapped.
Queen d6.
Because queen d6, but I think we do have... so, okay, actually, I should also keep in mind on cd4, we can throw in knight a4 too, if we need to. But I think we can get away with this one too. Let's see. So take, let's say here, and then...
Can we play like knight takes? No.
A3, queen d6, knight f5 almost works, but it doesn't.
Like do we have any form of like c5? But then queen a5, I guess.
I think white still has really nice compensation there, like c5 and knight b6, maybe take on c6 and knight b6. But I don't think we're trapping the queen in this line. But
sure.
Yeah, just getting very nice compensation. Yeah, here there would always be knight c6 and queen c2 if we need.
Nice, yeah.
But maybe knight a4 here is also worth
accurate.
Worth considering. Yeah. Okay, now I'm getting invested in this position. Let's go to that. Let's go to the next one. All right, white to play. I think this one's for Bloodqueen.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find the best line.
All right. There's a fork available, but I'll count the material first. So 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, queen, and we're down a pawn. And we're pinned. So the question is, if we go knight c7 check, king d8, we can't really get away with. If we take the rook, they take our knight. We can go bishop d2, and then it doesn't really look like our knight is getting out. So that would be 2 knights for the rook, which is not ideal. The knights are currently defending each other, so it's possible that we can go like a3 or something and try to move the queen away, but then just queen a5 and the fork is defended and they're fine. So probably not that. Is there a way for them to defend the fork? Yeah, they can go knight a6. So if we do like something like bishop d2, slow move, we're probably not getting the fork in. There's also after knight c7, king d2, knight takes a8, queen takes c3 check, bishop d2. There's okay, actually I don't know. Can I go rook b1? Maybe? Rook b1, queen a5. It's the same thing. And okay, bishop d2, we are threatening the queen. So if we play bishop d2 and they go knight a6, we can probably take on d5, maybe. Takes. I'm liking bishop d2. I don't know if it makes a difference whether or not. I mean, I don't think we can throw a3 in. So bishop d2, and what would they play? I feel like I'm missing something. What if they just play something like queen c5? Then, like, I'm not really better, and I don't really have any hope of being better. I'm trying to trap the queen somehow, because there's this, like, line in the Alapin where the knights are like this, and the queen can't take here because there's rook b8, and then the queen gets trapped, but the queen is on b4, so it's not trapped. I don't think it's trappable. Oh, hey, wait. I have an idea. I don't know if this works, but if you go knight c7, check king d8. Oh, no. They can go king d8, and they're fine. If it's knight c7, check king e7, then maybe there's, like, queen takes d5, but then queen c3 check. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm struggling in this position.
Okay, no, you're doing good. You're on the right track. So, you figured out mainly that if you play a slow move here, like bishop d2, which is very natural, black goes queen c5, and they kind of get out of knight c7 or down a pawn, and yeah, we might miss our chance. So, knight c7, of course, is like the first move our eyes are drawn to, but then after king d8, you take the rook, queen takes c3 check. We're going to lose the second knight as well. And then I think you correctly didn't like that for white because black is better. So that's good. I think it's the right eval there. Okay, but somewhere we're missing a chance to slow down. So knight c7 check, king d8. We of course want to play knight takes rook, but this is the exact moment where we should see if we have any other alternates. Move 2.
Yeah, I really wanted like some kind of, well, after king e7, I really wanted some kind of taking on d5 and forking to work. If they go to d8, we have knight takes e6 check, f takes e6. Oh. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's good. Let me see. Here. Nothing's hanging. I can't like go queen h5 check or anything. King is still in d8. But I guess we can say that instead of being down a pawn, well, no, we're down a piece. Anything that's not check, they're gonna take the knight. We can take on d5 and defend the knight, but they take our knight again. So yeah.
So try to come up with some kind of idea there, because it's we don't have a lot of options. Black is turning king takes knight, and black is turning queen takes c3 check as well. So try to find a move.
Okay. I'm trying to see if throwing an a3 does anything, because then the king and the queen would be aligned, but it's not like we have a fork or anything like that. So, oh wait, I can't play a3. Sorry, I already put my knight on c7. Knight c7, king d8. I'm trying to find a move there. I don't even have like a concept of a potential move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
I have nothing. Like
Knight,
taking on
knights are
e6 doesn't
hanging,
give me
right?
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta find the resource there.
There's a resource. Is it like some kind of like fork thing? I feel like it should be, but I can't find anything. And I'm pinned. I guess I could. Okay, after knight c7, king d8, I didn't really concretely look at bishop d2. Because the king can take. Oh, but then my queen's not even looking at the d pawn. I can't. Yeah, I don't have anything there, and also their queen's defended. Okay, I'm ruling out fork ideas.
Wait, slow down. So you had it. King d8, bishop
Yeah,
d2, king takes
yeah,
knight.
yeah. Oh, it's with check. Or yeah, okay. Okay, 95 checks the king, and it discovered attacks the queen.
Okay, and then let's finish that line. So what does black play?
Okay. Um, they can either take on d5 or move their king. So let's just assume that they take on d5, and then I take on b4. Bishop takes b4. Bishop takes b4 with check, and I move my king, and I have a queen.
Okay, yeah, let's evaluate that. So what's the material there?
Okay. Ping, ping. I lost a knight, lost another knight, and a bishop, and I got a pawn. So the pawns are equal now, and I just have 3 pieces. I've given 3 pieces for the queen,
Mm-hmm.
and neither of us can castle. Yeah.
So how do you evaluate that?
I think better for me, especially because I'm more developed and the d pawn is hanging.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We pushed you there, but I'm very happy you found bishop d2. Like, it's just a lot of times it just takes like you just have to kind of like keep searching and keep banging your head against the wall. But you found actually a number of ideas today, Anushka, that are like quite nice. So just know like your search is definitely improving. Just have to keep it up. Okay, house line. Anything to add on this line or to improve?
No, I was trying to figure out if the 3 pieces was worth it. Like, that was mine, because after like also after bishop takes, you move the king. Black's like underdeveloped, but yeah, I was like knight c7, king d8, bishop b2, and then the king doesn't necessarily have to take, but I also think that's just pretty bad. So yeah, I was wondering about if there's any form of queen e4 at any point, but but no, there is not, because the knight is still on c3. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was just trying to find some like counter checks or something, but I don't see it.
Okay. Oh, there's one more detail to find. So knight c7 check, king d8, bishop d2, king takes c7. And do we have any other? Do we have to go knight d5 there, or do we have any other options?
We got knight b5 as well.
So knight b5 is also
or
check.
rook b1.
Mm-hmm.
Rook b1 not check.
Yeah, knight b5.
Yeah. Just attacking
And
the queen.
if they take it, then we've lost a knight and another knight, but that's it. So actually,
we don't lose the third
we have
piece.
the queen for 2 pieces.
Only 2 pieces.
That's so funny. I spent the whole time being like, oh yeah, knight takes d5.
Yeah.
Didn't even consider knight b5 until you said.
Okay, nice job.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so
better.
let's
That's
take a
better.
look. Yeah, because if you give 3 pieces for the queen, that is quite a bit actually.
It's not good.
Especially because black's pieces here are all around the king. Oh, I don't know, maybe knight b6. I don't know if we want to give the d-pawn. Maybe we don't care. But generally speaking, queen against pieces, like the queen wants to be active and wants a lot of targets. But materially speaking, we have to recognize that black is actually ahead with the 3 minor pieces. Like that's a lot. The 3 pieces attack something, the queen cannot defend it. It's just pieces just absolutely overpowered. So I would say this position probably unclear, but I'd probably take black actually if I wanted to pick a side. Definitely would take black. The question is maybe just like how much black is better. But once the pieces come out, essentially, because there's so many of them, it'll just be really hard for the queen to really do a whole lot in this position. And then black's king is actually kind of safe with all the pieces around. But knight b5, of course, then black is only getting 2 pieces, and then that's not enough. And yeah, everyone always says knight d5 because it's 2 checks are better than 1. Everyone knows this.
Attacking the queen. Yeah.
But it's just a concrete thing. It's just a matter of just keeping the position solid in your mind, holding the material steady, and then of course, yeah, we recognize knight b5 is better. Not my game. No, this is just older puzzle. Not sure which game it comes from actually, but definitely a cool one. Okay, guys, let's end it there. I think I've certainly pushed you to your limits at this point.
Yeah, I felt like at the end my brain was kind of like mush.
Yeah, but that's good. I mean, definitely good time.
No,
good time
it's
to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It's also really handy having someone just be able to push you. Like, this is the thing that I struggle with when you're just sat on your own doing calculation, because you're like, is there more? Is there this? And it's so easy to be like, no, I'm at my limit, and then I'll go look at the answer, when you're really not actually at your limit. You're just at the limit of like the lines where you're like spinning wheels. So I don't know, do you have any advice for trying to push yourself in calculation of like, once you think you've hit the limit of lines or resources, is there like a good way to try and just maybe put in like a bit of a reset?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is a really important thing here. Actually, oh wait, no, that broke it. One sec. So yeah, a lot of the reason why this is helpful is because, okay, obviously I know in which direction to kind of push you guys into, like search deeper. But then during the game, you don't want to be spending too much time going down lines if they're not working. And so that was actually part of the that was part of the feedback too. It's like if you guys are going down a line that's too deep, then it's helpful to just kind of like, okay, to rein you in and look for more options. Yeah, like I think maybe a good example was
I see 3. Oh no,
this one where yeah, we want to recognize like what moves we hear first, like knight c3, knight d2, d5 before, let's say, spending a lot of time calculating this one. And so just recognizing like when is the right time to switch from one line to the other. I think this is one of the skills in calculation of like keeping your thinking efficient, and you can almost say this is intuition. Like your intuition kind of drives you to look at certain lines or avoid certain lines, and then you have to actually like hone in and focus on them and see if you can work it out. So I would say the thing is like, yeah, you want to kind of keep asking yourself these questions like what do I want from this position? What's like the immediate threat? What are the immediate forcing moves? And then try to get like a sense of the counter moves in a position first before you go super deep down any one of them. And then the sharper position, the sharper the position is, the more you don't want to go down a rabbit hole because you might be missing much simpler options along the way. So big part of that is also slowing down and then taking a beat on every step of the calculation to see like, okay, is this actually forced or maybe there's other options. Like actually another moment would be like after Matt was calculating d5 in this position, he was looking a lot at like knight d4 and then going down deep, but we have to recognize black has many moves here. Black can take on b2, which he recognized. Black has rook d8 as well. So there's a couple moves, and then once you start finding multiple moves for the opponent, then it's like, okay, maybe I don't want this. And it's like you save yourself a lot of time if you just kind of try to get this overview first. But yeah, it's not easy. Another great way to work on this is actually to play through annotated games, because usually the player is pretty open about like what they spent their time on and what they calculated, and how they navigated this position. And yeah, it's always very instructive when you see a position, you think there might be some sharp lines, and then the dude just plays knight d2 and he's like, yeah, I just wanted to make a simple move because I didn't want to bother myself with all this other calculation. And then those moments can be very instructive. It's like, okay,
that's pretty much all of my analysis in all of my games ever. Like, yeah, I looked at all of this, hated it, so I just played this.
but what you'll see is they play the move quickly. So the wrong thing is to spend a lot of time and then not play a move that you were spending your time on. So it's like you need to decide, okay, either I'm playing pretty quickly here, or I'm going to tank and try to come up with something concrete.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course reviewing your games and your calculations is also really helpful in this regard. So you can see like, okay, I spent 20 minutes here and I calculated like all these lines, but maybe it wasn't necessary, or in many cases we're missing like a simple idea from the get-go, and then that's not really a problem of thought process. That's a problem like vision, like counter moves, like seeing ideas. So of course it can be all kinds of stuff that comes up in a game. Nice. But here, I'll leave you guys with this. This is another Agard lesson that I was thinking about last couple months. He always talks about, or he started talking about certainty of action versus certainty of outcome, which is like such a helpful thing to help you stay motivated during your training. So as long as you keep doing the training, even if like you don't wake up necessarily feeling like you're a different calculator, eventually all that work will pay off, and you especially if you put in the time and the effort and do the right stuff, like in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, like you'll for sure feel like a much stronger player. So you just have to have faith that you're doing the right things, and then the outcome will come, and hopefully not worry about the outcomes ahead of time too much.
Yeah,
it's a great
I'm just
book.
excited. I'm super excited. But thank you so much. This is awesome.
Yeah, incredibly helpful. Thank you, Kostya.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for all of us. I think we're gonna go and crush it.
Do well.
We'll
Yeah.
get some photos in Dojo merch.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm so excited for my dojo merch.
Yeah, at the very least, it'll be a blast. And I mean, I think regardless of how the tournament goes, my goal is always like I just try to get like good games from the tournament that I'd be happy to show others and feel proud of. Even if we lose, like we put in our full effort. Like that's what it's all about. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, you guys have plans rest of the weekend? You're training more, streaming more?
Yeah.
I've got so much training that I did not do this week that I'm just gonna like stack on tomorrow. I'm gonna do like 4 to 6 hours of chess tomorrow.
I'm supposed to do in my training plan is a classical game with someone. I don't know who to play a classical game against
Ooh,
because
I also need to do that.
So would you be interested in
wanna play?
playing a classical game like
Yeah, sure.
online somehow? Like
Yeah.
we can pick a time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
free tomorrow morning, but also like
I'm
it
happy
depends
to
on
do it over like a call or something with like a so if you have a board set up. I don't
Yeah,
mind playing
yeah.
it online either, but like yeah, it'd be nice to like have pieces on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. I'll DM you. I'm free like all day, so any time works for me.
Same time tomorrow works for me if you'd like.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually really good. Perfect.
Nice. I found out I was coaching this week the U.S. kiddos at the Pan American MIP Championships happening.
Oh, amazing.
So the last round, I got 1 gold in the under 8. We won. That
Let's
was
go.
huge.
That's
and then looks
huge.
like a couple of two players of mine finished 5th place, which was decent.
Wow. Decent.
We've got some big shoes to fill, Anushka.
Yeah, I know. Pan American under 8 champion. It's like,
I mean,
back it up.
With this tournament, you know, I'm just their coach for the tournament, so it's not like I've been like working with these kids. So they usually just come in and they're already very strong, and my job is to just kind of like support them a little bit. But it's cool. Yeah, we got the 1 gold.
That's amazing. Well done.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
So yeah, already we'll go celebrate. Cool.
Okay.
I gotta run.
Shall we find someone to raid?
Yeah, let's do.
I'll look. See, it'd be so nice if Rachel was streaming right now.
Oh, I know, it'd be perfect.
Keep it in the community.
Oh, Tamara's streaming. She's going to.
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Okay,
She's been up for like
perfect.
3 minutes as well, so that works.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
All your comments.
I hope it was instructive.